their team to victory. It's Wilson's Seahawks going up against Smith's Chiefs. With that, let's get out to Arrowhead. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here we go with Jamal Charles. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, it certainly appears that they had a pretty good formula how to combat waiting around all day to play a night game. Came right out, smacked them, and gained big yardage because it's tough for a coach. How much time do you spend with a team? How much time do you meet? How often do you actually eat meals? Do you get them out of the hotel? It's a tough, tough task to have them ready to play a night game when they've had to sit around all day and usually watch other people get ready to play as well.
And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Out of the gun, Smith. A dump off for Charles. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a third down. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Third down now following the run. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. So a big roughing the passer penalty, Charles, and of course that's 15 yards.
And everyone knows how protected the quarterbacks are. You've got to make sure that when you launch at a quarterback, that you're hitting him in the right spot and in the right time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Screen pass to Charles. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And Hill with it over the middle. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making. I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Justin Houston is truly one of the elite pass rushers in the league. Knows how to get to the quarterback with a variety of moves.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. And they'll run it here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He hits Jermaine Kearse. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Shift together here from the D-line. And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short gain here down to the 22. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Buying time to his left. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They're going on 4th into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. And the offense needs 7 out of this play on third down.
Set, move, 45. 3, 3, 3, 3. 4, under. Hey, move, 45.
Throwing on third down, Smith. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Now Wilson down around his goal line. Complete outright to Kurz. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
On second down, Wilson. And this is caught by Kurz. It's a gain of 7, and just like that, it's third down. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. On third down, Wilson sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run, he'll throw it back. And got his man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Back to the air, Smith on second down. Going underneath for Charles. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. One receiver left, two to the right. From the gun on third down, Smith surveying the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And likely just out of field goal range. Could be Hail Mary time.
And haven't we seen in recent years that the Hail Mary seems to be more successful in the NFL than before?
Absolutely we have. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
But they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
NFL teams last year, a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They are going for it. It's Smith. They complete it to Hill. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. That one good for 14 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he lost the football. Charles loses it.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Short yardage situation. Here's Charles. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Jamal Charles. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. So he was able to complete the pass, but he's also going to have to shake off the cobwebs after that hit.
I don't know how he saw anything downfield with that pass rush in his face, yet he stepped up and delivered.
From the red zone now, Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. We're back now in KC as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. And this seemingly endless drive continues. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Oh, no, he lost the football. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So it took a while to get anything on the scoreboard, but we finally have our first points of the contest.
And now this becomes a question of can they make this stand up? The defense has been impeccable thus far, and now they need to go out and finish strong.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. With their hope.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception picked off by Derek Johnson. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Play clock winding down. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith fighting through, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. on fourth down. Smith got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those fourth down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll come out in the pistol. Charles. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Offense faces a 3rd and medium with 6 yards left. They come out here in the I. Now Smith. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They run it. It's Charles. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So they're on the 5-yard line here, 2nd down and goal. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Now Smith will turn and give this to his fullback, Sherman. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
Do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the